Okay, looks like a snow day today. It snowed about 6 inches, I think, from yesterday. You can see the Fraser River there. It's all got snow, or not snow, or ice coming down. I've never seen that much ice before. Wow. Well, up north it's really cold, so I mean, you know, you don't see ice in the Fraser too often, but when it's really cold for a long time, forecast another 6 inches of at least today of snow. It's starting to snow right now, so makes it tough for scrapping, makes it tough to even get out of your house. It looks like the back road is pretty clear, but you just never know. Just never know. Gonna need to be an aerial view of the front in a minute, but you can see ice just flowing steady. It's probably about -2, I would think, -2, -4. That's Celsius. Looks like snow's gonna start in a few minutes. They're forecasting it now anyways. Look at it. There's all the cars are like snowed in. It's weird how the weather, like I say, it was less than a week ago, it was like 10 Celsius, and it got to -5, 6. Get some snow off my vehicle. If you don't do that, your wipers get all wrecked up. But if it snows another 6 inches, well, at least you get a little more snow taken off, right? Can't believe it, huh? Usually, you know, we do get a lot of snow sometimes, right? I don't think we're gonna get any snow this year the way the weather was going. A bit of a bummer. I need to find my windshield. And like I say, we're near the river, right? Every time near the river, it just snows like crazy. I always get more than the average person. Let's start my van up, I guess. At least get it, try to warm it up a little bit. See, I stuck those rubber mats in there. I don't know if you can see that. Threw them on there, and I put this carpet on top after. So it should be a lot better. Okay. Frost on. Just let it warm. Make sure my wipers aren't frozen on there. Oh yeah. They're on there, frozen. Still nice to work in the cold air. Just nice fresh air. I don't plan to go nowhere, but at least I'm gonna clean the windows a bit. I'll probably shovel some snow. Just have to get out or something. Wow, look at that, huh? Good job at the end of the week too. Time sensitive job too. It's an auto plan. Gotta get in there and strip it out a bit. Not a lot, but mostly cosmetic, but it needs to be done, so. A lot of guys leave the windshield, their wipers like that, but I don't know if it's worth doing that or not. Whoa, slippery. Look at that. I'm gonna try to warm it up, start it up. Might not even start. Sometimes they get cold, these diesels, they're hard to start. Warm up for a little bit, just if we don't let it warm up. The battery wears down on this truck for some reason, especially when it's cold. These gloves are even colder. Okay, stand by. Right now it's a slushy, supposed to freeze up. When it freezes up, then it's really tough. Right now, like I say, it's manageable. So my daughter parks here, so she went to visit her boyfriend. She went to the bank for me, which is good. Nice to look at, but not fun if you have to work in it. Well, like I say, if we get 2 or 3 weeks a year, it's not too big a deal. I hate the people way out there that have, you know, dozens and dozens of days of snow and cold. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, I'll shovel this out, shovel around here, shovel around my truck a little bit. Slight snow right now, but it's really fine flakes. Usually when it's wet, you get lots of snow, big, thick, big, you know, snowflakes. But when it's dry like this and cold, it just gets real powdery. Okay, to get there a little bit. Fingers are cold. I put gloves on, and still my fingernails are burning. No, it's not that cold either, right? It's just, I think the rubber gloves would heat my hands up real fast, but it's not. I'll clean around here a little bit, maybe hopefully a little bit here or something. Truck's charging the battery good, so that's good. That's what I have to do is, during winter time the battery somehow drains. If it sits too long it's hard to start, so what I do is, you know, every few days I'll start it up, let it run. Especially I need it for Thursday or Friday I need it for, right? Hopefully the weather gets a little better. Towards the end of the week they're talking about a little bit of rain and snow mixed or something, a little bit of warming. And then after that it's supposed to get cold again, so that makes a mixture of bad, lots of ice and lousy road conditions, right? Okay, it's starting to snow a little bit heavier now. It's looking a little better. Wish I had a better shovel. This one's a bit cracked and bends a little too much. How's it going?
Pretty good, how are you doing?
Not too bad. I guess if I was in Chicago, I'd have to have my gun ready, just in case. You never know who's behind you. I was watching a YouTube channel before and a guy was saying, even when I cut my grass, I got my Glock on my side, plus 2 extra rounds. 2 extra clips actually, so I think he was somewhere in Chicago or somewhere like that. That's pretty scary. You can walk down the streets anywhere here in Vancouver, anywhere to be honest. The only thing they're gonna bug you is for spare change and give you a sad story. They're homeless, you know, but they're not gonna rob you. I mean, if you're in a bad area and you're trying to buy drugs or something, okay, it could be a different story, but there's no real bad areas. I mean, it's Skid Row, Hastings Street, but they're just mostly guys all high walking around trying to sell stolen crap, I guess. Or out here, at least, it's not too bad. You don't have the guns like you have in some countries, right? But I mean, those big countries, some of those states or countries, you know, and they got a huge population, the crime is like 50 times more, right? So it goes by population. Like we're relatively fairly small here. I mean, we still have a lot of people, but crime rate is per 1 or 2 million versus 15 or 20 or 30 million people. You know what I'm saying? You go to Mexico City or something where there's a lot of people, the violence is 100 times more. It's not like it's more violence, just the percentage is higher because of population ratio. But I remember we were in Eastern Washington, very small town. He says, you know, crime rate's no different from a small town to a big town. You have the same amount of crime, but on a smaller scale. But crimes happen all the time, right? Okay, got a little more here. By tomorrow's probably the same amount of snow, but at least I'm going to shovel less, right? And hopefully if it's really dry. Right now it's got a little bit wet because it was warm, a little bit warmer today. At least this way I can be freely shoveling it. My van is totally clear. My truck is good now. At least it started up, so the battery will be good. Continue a little more here, and then you know, go inside. I gotta take some stuff apart. A few things. I brought 4 or 5 electronic items to see what's inside it. Maybe we'll do a video later. Stay tuned. The wire stripper for about an hour right now. Seems working okay. Just like I say, you just gotta Make sure you don't go too small with a hole when it jams up. It's always better to go just a little bit bigger. I stripped this stuff here. It's like computer wire. Don't even waste your time. There's nothing in it. It's a total joke. There's nothing in it. Not even worth it. It's so heavy and it's so thick, but there's probably like 20-25% copper in this if you're lucky. It's that low. So and I'm getting anywhere from 50 to 70 cents for this. They paid 50 at the low end, and they paid 70 recently. So I advise you, don't even waste your time for this type of cords, power cords. And some of the cords have just so much fluff and garbage inside it. Not worth it. Once you go through there, you strip it, it's just like nothing. Totally nothing. This one here, I don't know what this one's called. Like, this is kind of a spiral cord also, but since the conductor inside is hard, it doesn't tear it apart. It just spins around and you pull it out. So this stuff is actually nice. Same Romex. Like this stuff here. This strip's good too. Just throw it in. So for this type of stuff, and the problem is with this machine, there should be a reverse and there should be a speed control. This is way too fast. Way too fast. Like if you're doing hundreds of feet, you can just feed it through here, or just can blow through it like nothing. But you know, my experience is, like I say, I would just cut lengths like this, you know, not too long. Especially it's spiraled in here anyways. So when it's spiraled, you could have, it just takes too much time to separate it. You'll have one conductor and you'll have 4 insulated conductors. One will be bare. So basically what you do is just cut in 2-foot lengths, feed it through, and you can unravel it in a second versus spending too much time unraveling it. It's too hard. Like I say, the machine works good. It creates a bit of a heat, so it's good when it's really cold, warms up the area. But when it's summertime, it just gets a little too hot, I thought. That's why I didn't do nothing in the summertime, but seems to work pretty good. I didn't buy this for small cables. I bought it really for big industrial cables, where, you know, we do a lot of basically, like, you know, like just big cables from industrial cables and so on. I was hoping to buy cables off contractors at more than scrap value, so they would make more money off me, and I would make a little bit of money for my time. But so far, I haven't done that yet. I have to get a good scale first. You know, you can't buy anything without a proper scale. You need a scale like a scale the size of this pallet. And then what you do is you just weigh them in buckets, barrels or something, like plastic barrels. You know, 100, 200 pounds, whatever the barrel or the scale will handle, and then pay accordingly. But like I say, for me, I wanted an industrial one. I could have went for like a Blue Dog or a Meister one, but I just wanted something a little more. I like the slot versions, and I found this was cheaper than the Blue Dog. Blue Dog was about $1,000 more. This had a good horse. It's like a 2 horsepower or something like motor. It has a really heavy duty motor on there. It's belt driven, but it's a good motor in there, which is good. But like I say, if it jams up, doesn't matter what you use, it will jam. Like, you know, for like real thin wires, I use a small hole. And then if I use like the 14 gauge, I use this. I can go to here. I'll put the Romex maybe in this one, second hole, and it just spits it all out nicely, and then it's so much easier. But the full potential is, I mean, there's all sorts of big sizes, diameters, right? For me, you can see it takes a lot of work, a lot of waste. You know, all that waste only produced this much copper. This copper and that copper. So I think it's probably at least 1/3 waste for sure. 100 pounds, 30 pounds of waste. 30 pounds of copper to 100 pounds total weight. I would think 30 pounds plus 70 pounds of copper. Anyways, like I say, it's working okay. I didn't even get into my pile yet. That's all the stuff I bought the other day. All this. I still have what was sitting in my garage here. And it's time consuming. Like I say, you have to have a lot of time. It's not it's not super fast. Like, it is fast, but the wires are so small, right? Look at the wires come out of here, Romex. Just a tiny wire. But like I say, instead of me selling it for, they'll probably only pay around 70 cents, maybe 80 cents a pound. Now I'm getting, more for value, right? Sure, it's taking time, but since it's snowing and stuff, the weather's the craps. This is my off time, right? So I have those buckets here, and I still have my other storage. I must have a little bit there too. I would say probably the same amount of that also. So I got a lot of wire. I can see some of this cord cuts really good. But I was watching like some videos. Some guys gave me some. See, like, this is a better quality here, a little bit better, thicker gauge. I watched some of the videos. They work pretty good. Some of those little Meister was pretty good actually. I was thinking maybe I'll pick a small one up for maybe for this stuff, right? But we'll see. I mean, it's working. It's just like I say. It's just some more real fine material there. It's still going to be number 2 regardless. No matter what you do, it's still number 2. But anyways, okay. So like I say, if they had a variable speed control and a reverse, so if you had a jam, you could reverse out. Some machines have reverse and variable speed. I just wonder if I get it modified by someone. They could put a speed control in there, because I don't like feeding it that fast, because it gets dangerous, because it's like it wants to rip out of your hand, and also sometimes this stuff has slivers in there, especially if it cuts it wrong and it slivers. You get slivers, tear your gloves apart, like, almost. So variable speed control, reverse, then the machine I think would be really good. But this is basically a machine probably made in China anyways. It's just one of those I guess average quality machines. I mean, they told me it's really reliable. It's a good machine. The manufacturer who sold to me came from Ontario on a skid. That's the actual skid it came on. So I just left it there to keep tight. Still wired, haven't even took it off skid. I just took the surroundings off. So basically what I would suggest, like I say, just if you buy a machine like this, just got to know your holes. And it's also these tension things. You got to know the tension, and I'm still learning here on, maybe I'm putting too much tension on something like that, That could be the problem too. And another guy made a comment, when the blades are brand new, it's hard. They don't cut as good. They cut good, but they just cut maybe too good. He said when the blade gets a little duller, it works a little bit better. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it's called Shark Bite quality wire strippers. Okay, I bought it from diamondtools.com. So www.diamondtools.com. So anybody want to buy one of these? I recommend it. It's a good machine. I mean, if you're doing house wire and Romex and even that heavier wire that you get off inside the conduits from house wiring, they come out of the conduit from the pole. Cuts that good. It cut aluminum. I had this aluminum, spit it through real fast, no problem. If you want to strip aluminum wire, no problem. So anyways, like I say, I'm going to keep plucking away here, and I need to get it processed anyways. Look at the room it takes. Right, and I'm anticipating copper to come up in price, which is already kind of creeping up a bit. I got $3.10 right now for number 1. So maybe in another couple weeks or a month, it might be around, maybe hopefully a little bit higher. If not, the same is okay too, as long as it doesn't go down. But it's the way the market is. If it goes down, it goes down. Anyways, gonna keep plucking away.